Welcome to the Inspired Riding Podcast. I'm your host, Beth Lauren Parrish. As a certified riding instructor, remote coach, and rapid transformational therapy practitioner, a powerful form of hypnotherapy, I'm here to remind you to slow down, trust your intuition, and really deeply listen to your horse. And this will make for the best co-creative dances possible, whether you're on the ground or connecting on their backs. Thank you so much for being here, and here we go. Hello there. This is a very special podcast where I'm going to share with you the rules of the mind from Marisa Peer. Marisa Peer is a world-renowned, award-winning therapist who created rapid transformational therapy. And that's the particular hypnotherapy that I'm certified in. She wrote many books, and one of her most recent ones is called Tell Yourself a Better Lie. In the back of it, she actually has all the rules of the mind laid out. And I'm going to share with you how to deepen your confidence for riding and your interactions with horses and in life by giving you the breakdown of these rules and how they can apply to the horse world. So I hope you enjoy this. So here's the first quote that she talks about. The mind is not nearly as complicated as we are led to believe. So the first rule of the mind is your thoughts form a blueprint that your mind and body work to make it a reality. Every thought you think causes a physical reaction and an emotional response. Your mind doesn't care, and indeed does not know, if what you tell it is true or false, useful or useless, beneficial or harmful. It acts on words as if they are the absolute truth. So tell your mind better things, and you'll get better results. So this is why you'll hear me encourage you to flip your script. You get to be the writer, the director, the editor, and the leading star of your own personal movie. I want you to notice what you say on automatic every day. Are those thoughts, those repeating words, harming you, or are they helping you feel your best? So I want you to think about some of the things that you say all the time. So it could be as you're walking over to the mounting block when you're going to ride, and you see your horse maybe get a little bit up in energy, and you think to yourself, I'm going to have a hard time handling this. So if that's one of your common repeating thoughts, then that's going to result in anxiety. It can result in perhaps your horse getting more up in their energy because you're validating it and looking at it with the fear, with the concern. So in order to flip your script in that moment, you can look at your horse and go, their energy is going up. What do I need to do? I need to calm myself and bring my horse into my calm state. So in that moment, you can literally say to yourself, I'm flipping my script. So you can take a nice deep breath. You can even do a horse sigh. And then decide, okay, I'm going to be the calm that my horse needs right now. So you can wiggle your toes in your boots. You can imagine that you're just creating the most amazing calm feeling inside your entire body, and start breathing into that and feeling like you're grounding down into the earth. And then notice how your horse responds. So you can do a scan of your body and just keep releasing tension as you breathe out. Allow that tension to just float away as you're breathing out. And then look again at your horse and notice if they start to chill out with you. You could also put a hand on where they look the most tense and send them love. You can literally just place your hand on the part that seems most tense, or just hover it above and send it love and imagine it relaxing and softening. You can do what's called the bladder meridian scan through the Jim Masterson method. And if you have time, it's definitely worth researching and playing with. And that'll help you give yourself a good baseline of where your horse is holding tension. But you can use that in the moment, like right before you're about to ride. and literally just take your hand in the direction of where you feel like your horse is the most tense. Could be the poll, that's often the case. It could be somewhere in the neck, it could be their withers, it could be somewhere on their back or their hind end. And you're just going to just very softly and gently send love to it. Imagine your hand is creating the most calm, soft feelings ever. And notice how your horse responds to that. So again, you're taking stock of all the things you're thinking, and then you're taking really clear, focused action to help create a better feeling, a better thought. So basically, you're empowering yourself. You're going, nope, I'm not going to hold on to the thoughts that are making my horse and I feel worse. I'm going to actively think about thoughts that will help us. So I'm going to think about getting calm. I'm going to think about encouraging my horse to get calm and release tension. I'm going to work on releasing tension in my body. So you see the difference there? You're not going, uh-oh, here we go again. You're going, no, I know what to do. I've got this. I am powerful and I can help my horse in this moment. So this is where you start to think, okay, I get to be the rider that my horse can trust. So remember, the more you become aware of your thoughts, the more powerful you're going to feel in your entire life. And the only real control you have in life are the thoughts you focus on. I'll say that again. The only real control you have in life are the thoughts that you focus on. All right, here's the second rule. The strongest force in humans is that we must act in a way that consistently matches our thinking. Your mind must get you to act in a way that matches your thinking. So you must be very careful about what you present to your mind. Why? Because it's going to present it right back to you in actions and external reality. So if you're saying things like, I can't stop feeling stressed or overwhelmed, I'm never going to get to sleep, then your mind will say, got it. Like a perfect soldier, it won't let you sleep. It'll keep you awake. So this is where, again, you're going to flip your script, but you can do it gently at first. So I want you to shift to thinking, okay, I've been working so hard, but now I'm ready to release tension, relax my body, and let myself reset. So I can allow sleep to come easily and wake up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to have an incredible day. So there's a really clear distinction. Instead of saying, I want to fall asleep, you're going to say, I'm allowing sleep to come to me. And that's a distinction I learned from Marisa Peer as well. So if you think of allowing sleep to come to you, then you're just relaxing into it. You're not trying to fall asleep. And falling isn't a really cool feeling anyway. We don't want that. We just want to allow the sleep to come. So you see the distinction there? I hope that helps you. So I want you to think about a specific issue you're having, and then think about everything you say to yourself about it. Pay close attention to the powerful I am statements. So whenever you say I am something, you're really taking ownership of that. So if you say things like, I am never able to get to sleep, you're just making that part of your reality. So get rid of that. Just say, I am allowing sleep to come easily. I am sleeping easier every day. And apparently I am being amused by my puppy coming in, running around. Okay, I just left that in because I thought it was awfully cute. So if you want to leave behind the I am stressed feeling, you can switch it to something that's obviously true. You could say, I'm feeling a bit worn down now, but I am capable. And I am really getting better at allowing myself to rest fully and hit the reset button. So you see how that starts to shift gently? So you don't have to feel like you're saying things that you don't believe. It's like, yeah, I'm really feeling a little bit tired, and that's okay. But I am also really capable of allowing myself to rest without feeling guilt. Okay, here's Marisa's third rule. The subconscious is not good at future pacing. Our subconscious functions better when it is working in the now. Rather than saying, I will find love, wealth, health, or success next year, you must say, I am becoming wealthy, lovable, successful, or super healthy right now. on this day, in this moment. Saying that will mean your mind will begin to find opportunities and openings to match that reality. So I want you to imagine your mind is a Google search engine. You want to find solutions by typing in what you desire to show up. You would put in the search engine, find this. And obviously you'd expect the results to show up right now. You wouldn't have to think, I'm going to type this in and now I have to wait till next year for it to show up, right? So you want to think your mind is always going to respond to something immediately. So what would you type in your mind search engine? Better health, more wealth, better connection with your horse, more confidence in the saddle. This is where you get to choose your best possible reality. And don't hold back. All right, I'm going to share you mine. I am becoming healthier, more fit, and more financially successful right now. So what would yours be? Okay, here's Marissa's rule number 4. Your mind responds to the pictures you form in your head and the words you say to yourself. This is great news. You can change these words and pictures anytime. When you avoid thinking of something, as if you're thinking, don't think of chocolate, you will inevitably think of chocolate. You must focus on a more imaginative image instead. Think of a big bowl of fresh fruit and nuts and seeds sprinkled on top. And that'll boost your immune system. So you fixate on this and your mind will then release the chocolate idea. So my whole thing with this is if you are riding along and you tend to go into those what if scenarios, you can immediately take charge of those. And this is even more than flipping your script. This is segment intending. This is future focusing. I call it riding into your future. You're going to think about exactly how you want to feel, how you want your horse and yourself to look, how you want the footfalls to sound, what you want to be smelling just a few strides ahead. And you're going to get that image and that feeling and those smells and those sounds really clear in your mind. And you imagine yourself just a few strides ahead in that feeling, in that sound, in that smell. So I say all the senses because I know some people are not as visually adept at creating a clear image. But the more you put all of your senses into it, that's how you create that full 3D experience. So you're going to get really proactive about telling your mind exactly what you want to do. And the cool thing is once you start to do that, your horse feels everything. You know that. So they can feel your intention. They feel your energy. They feel your breathing. So if you get yourself so focused on this is exactly how I would like things to go, more times than not, it's going to inevitably get better. Okay? So you might as well harness this power. And it really doesn't take much. It's just a matter of focused practice, just like anything else. So just like you're practicing your transitions, practice these visualizations. And it doesn't have to be just images. Like I said, get your whole essence involved. So think it, feel it, smell it, hear it, sense it, all of those things. And so as soon as you feel, oh no, what if my horse bucks? You're like, yeah, no. What if my horse has the best transition ever a few strides ahead? So that's where you get empowered again. All right, I hope you like that. I get a little excited about that one. Okay. So number 5 for Marissa, the rules of the mind. The subconscious mind responds to the words that are vivid, exciting, descriptive, and in the present tense. So with your words and pictures, your mind likes simplicity. The words should be direct, bold, affirmative, and in the present tense. So don't use words like maybe, eventually, try, someday, no wishy-washiness. Don't speak in the future or past tense. Be direct, precise, and prescriptive. So here's an example. You can say, my horse and I are an incredible team. Our trust builds with each other exponentially. I love how my body responds perfectly to support my horse in the most harmonious ways. So that's pretty descriptive as opposed to, I hope we have a good ride, Maybe I'll try to have a good ride, I'm going to repeat that again. My horse and I are an incredible team. Our trust builds with each other exponentially. I love how my body responds perfectly to support my horse in the most harmonious ways. All right, here's rule number 6. The mind learns by repetition. That's why I repeated that phrase before. Repetitive practice every day builds neural pathways that make what you're doing automatic. This process is called neuroplasticity. This works for good and bad thoughts. So if you say things on repeat, things like, oh gosh, this is probably going to end in tears. Nothing works out for me. That's what you're going to create, okay? So get really mindful about the things you say all the time, or just the things you say to yourself. One of the things I say most often when I'm riding, and I'll say it out loud so Pepper hears it, my pony, I'll say, you're safe, I promise. You're safe, I promise. And I say that to him and to myself. So I'm reminding my body that I'm safe, and I'm reminding him that he's safe. And then the other thing I say is trust the pony. And then he feels proud because he knows that he's trustworthy and he knows that he can take care of me. And then that's just my little reminder to just get into the moment and stay with him. So really start thinking about what are the phrases you want to actually start saying on repeat to help program your mind. Okay, here's Marissa's rule number 7. This is a big one. Your mind cannot hold conflicting beliefs. They cancel each other out, since the mind gets confused and can't pick a lane. So here's an example. I want to speak in public, but everyone will laugh at me and I'll fail. Often people aren't even aware of these conflicting beliefs. My clients will often say that they want to canter around without fear, yet they're nervous that their horse will buck them off and they'll get hurt. So their mind isn't really getting clear direction about let's go canter, because the mind is also going, but you're afraid you're going to get hurt, so maybe we shouldn't canter. So you see where the disconnect is? So when our minds are laser beam focused, all the debris is removed from the road towards success. So we want to clear the road from debris and allow success to happen. So you can say things like, I have the skills to handle anything. I am a competent, capable, ever-evolving rider. I can ask for the canter with confidence and have a blast. Now, let me tell you on the side note, if for some reason you're still nervous about cantering, that you really are worried about falling off, then that is absolutely going to cancel out that I'm ready to have a blast cantering around, because deep inside you're still nervous. That's where the hypnotherapy sessions work so well, because we get to the root cause of why you're nervous about falling off. And believe it or not, oftentimes when we go to past scenes during the hypnotherapy sessions, it stems from moments that happened in childhood that perhaps made you feel out of control, perhaps made you feel like you weren't enough. And that will then translate into a feeling of being afraid in the saddle. So I want you to understand that your mind is recording everything since you were little, even from when you were in the womb. So you might have heard things in the womb that may have then caused some programming that started running that you're not even aware of. So these are things that can really start to create conflicting beliefs, like, I really want to ride, but there's something inside me that's holding me back and I don't even know why. That's where these hypnotherapy sessions are so valuable. And I want to encourage you to reach out to me. You can do a free 20-minute strategy session to be sure it's right for you. And I'd be honored to assist you to help you feel like you can finally step into your joy and have more fun with your horse. All right, here's Marissa's rule number 8. Your mind's job is to move towards pleasure and away from pain. This rule is highly responsible for keeping you alive. When you experience pain, your mind searches for the cause and says, never again. However, your mind can attach pain to the wrong things. It could be from an old experience, like being embarrassed when giving a speech at work. And then it'll prevent you from doing the things you want to do, like public speaking and speaking from your heart, speaking your truth with ease. Because your mind is thinking, oh, nope, can't do that again, right? So you have to make the things you want pleasurable. So you have to think, oh, this speech is going to be the best thing ever, and this is what I want. And you may even have to say to your mind, it is safe to give this speech. I know I can do this. I've been practicing. It is safe for me to get on stage and speak my truth. People need to hear what I have to say. I can't wait to do this. I'm so excited to do this. See, and that starts shifting your mind. You go, oh, okay, maybe it's not so painful. She's really ready. Okay, here's Marissa's rules of the mind, number 9. What is expected tends to be realized. People underestimate the power that they have with their expectations. Here's an example. I knew I'd get sick just like my dad. I saw him taking meds every day for the ulcers he got, and I formed a belief that hard work makes you sick. That person then goes on to get sick later in life from overworking. Okay, so if you expect your horse to spook in a certain spot, they're now more likely to spook because you're creating that expectation. So becoming aware of your expectations and working to rewire your mind will truly help you shift what you're going to expect in your new reality. All right, here's number 10. In a battle between emotion and logic, emotion always wins. Working to change the emotion attached to the undesired behavior will always do better than logically trying to tell yourself to do better, stop drinking, don't be afraid of XYZ. Once you see that all problems and behaviors have emotional problems at their core, logic is a waste of time. Once you uncover the underlying emotions, you then get to decide to erase them or transform them into new feelings or beliefs. So here's an example. You never really felt like a good enough rider when you were younger, since your instructor would yell at you and drill you all the time while praising the other riders. So when you had a fall, your mind tells you, well, I'm just not a good enough rider. I shouldn't even be riding. This horse deserves better. This would make anyone feel awful about themselves and their capabilities. So again, you just have to grab a hold of a new emotion and say, I love riding. I love my horse. I know my horse loves me. I know that I'm continually searching to become a better rider. I'm looking for ways to become better. I'm an ever-evolving rider. And that helps open up your heart and creates the emotion that you can do better, and that will help you feel your best and create your new reality that way. Here's a rule of the mind, number 11. Your mind does what it thinks you want it to do, and it's likely based on info you told it a long time ago in the form of repeated or inherited thoughts. Your mind always thinks it's acting in your best interest. So if you aren't getting the results you want, give your mind better instructions. Whatever you tell your mind, it lets in, just like lotion on your skin. It doesn't care if it's good or if it's bad, healthy or unhealthy. So give your mind relevant, detailed, up-to-the-minute instructions so your mind doesn't act in an old or unhelpful way. So here's an example. You need to say to your mind, I have taken this amount of lessons in my life so far. I know that I am truly a capable, caring, and careful rider. I am the perfect partner for my horse, and we are an unstoppable team. The only opinions that truly matter are mine and my horse's. Everyone else can mind their own business. I hope you like that. All right, and here's rule number 12. Your mind is hardwired to resist what is unfamiliar and to return to what is familiar. One of the most damaging things we can tell ourselves or think is, that's not available to me. It could be love, could be money, could be career, success, weight loss, confidence in riding. We need to make the things we want familiar. We have the power to tell our minds that the things we desire are deeply familiar to us, even if we've never had them before, and make the things we want to leave behind entirely unfamiliar. What you say to yourself has way more power than you've ever let yourself believe. Decide to begin rewiring your mind right now. So what do you want to make familiar? I say things like, I love money and money loves me. Money flows to me every day, and I accept it with grace and gratitude. I am an incredibly fit and supple athlete. My body has an incredible ability to do everything with ease. And for those who don't know, I have multiple metal implants in my body from many different falls that I've had in my life. So I'm always in awe that my body has the capacity to heal and to do all the things that I want it to do. And I keep challenging my beliefs. And I keep pushing myself into the unfamiliar and think, what if I could just sprint right now with my pony? Where when I was doing my rehab, I didn't think I was ever going to be able to run. And I had that running belief for a while. But then I just started to push myself little by little on the treadmill. I said, what if I can do a little more? What if I could do a little more? And the next thing you know, I was able to do some running. And now I'm able to do it without looking like a lame pony, which is pretty fun. So really start to challenge all the things you say to yourself. All right, and here's rule number 13. This is the last one. The greater the conscious effort, the less the subconscious responds. So saying, I'm trying to get to sleep or I'm trying to relax never works. You have to give your subconscious better instructions. So again, you say, sleep comes to me. You can say, my body is a fat-burning machine. My body is a wellness machine. My digestion is amazing. My riding is full of ease and grace. My body responds to my horse perfectly. I have tapped into a new level of harmony with my horse. There you go. I hope those helped you. If you want to see the masterclass I created about this, it's called Powerfully Program Your Mind. And you can find that on inspiredriding.com/everything. And you'll scroll down and find that masterclass there for you. If you want to jump into one of the rapid transformational therapy sessions with me, I want to encourage you to reach out. You'll also find that on the page. And you can grab a free strategy session with me, and I'd be honored to work with you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope these rules of the mind were valuable for you, and I can't wait to hear how it helps you with your riding. Remember to lead with kindness for yourself and for your horse. And may the horse be with you always.